Got it. Done. And okay, that's right. I logged out of that one. Cool. I don't have to hit got it a second time. All righty, y'all. Peace, greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Guys, I would like to say happy Holy Venus degree to you all first and welcome you to our Impromptu Improv, right? We're going over the Zodiac Constitution. We're doing Article 2, as you guys can see behind Brother Sean there. However, as I'm saying, Brother Sean, I'd like to introduce our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, and he is
Islam. Peace and love, everybody. Happy holy day. Happy holy Venusian degree. I am Brother Sean Aleem El. You already know that all is well. And yeah, man. Oh snap, bro. I kind of lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Where was I going with that other appellation, bro, that the bros gave me? I be forgetting sometimes, you know what I'm saying? What? Oh.
Indeed, bro. As always, fun guys. This is gonna be short, sweet, to the point because we're already late for court strategy class. But me and my bros, as we are doing the things that we do and having our our mind meetings and going over these things that make us be the kind of brothers that we are, to make sure that when we share information or go over information, we're being thorough, accurate. So we're always looking at things pertaining to astrology, mathematics, jurisprudence, and I'm serious about the mathematics. Like we're doing mathematics just a few minutes ago, while also just analyzing a lot of things pertaining to jurisprudence also. So this one's going to be very quick. We're going to get right to the point and get straight to it, right? So I'm going to screen share immediately. Brother Sean is going to lead us in with our invocation in. We're here at the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. All righty, as you see, handsomely standing due-guarded as Moor Shorty's Fez, his prophet Noble Drale with his feet on a 45-degree angle, which is how you all are going to stand for our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer. All righty. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. We're going to face directional east, which is symbolic metaphysically to going within, having our feet on a 45-degree angle. And you can repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in the heart. Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. Indeed, guys. Thank you so much. Broski Doski. We're going to go now to pages 84 and 85. Same book, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drale on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative Functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drale, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting, dear brother Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claimed it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And now, guys, we're going to the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, and you see on page 12, handsomely standing due guard again is Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his Moorish Fez. And on page 13, we're going to yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam.
Islam. All right, a divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The Prophet warns all Muslims. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work and their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple of the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and cease wearing their turban and fez. You lift me up a little bit, bro. I need to just go ahead and memorize that. Yeah, so if they lose confidence in their prophet, they should cease. They should turn in their card and button and cease wearing their turban and fez and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. Guys, let's just get right to it. We want to go right here, right? To Article 2. We're here going over the Zodiac Constitution. And you guys, check out the last 2 Fridays where we did our introduction and went over Article 1. So you're clear on that. So I'm just thinking you want to get familiar or what we're reading, just look at the prior 2 Fridays. All right. So Article 2, Zodiac Constitution, Birthrights of the Moorish American, the B's and L's. All righty. And this, for those of you that have gotten your name correction, which come, when you're having your name correction and your judicial notice and proclamation, your name correction, number 1, speaks on this Zodiac Constitution, Birthrights. It speaks on it'll say, I think, number 1, it'll say Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. And then it's stated in parentheses, Zodiac Constitution, Birthrights of the Moorish American, the B's and L's, even though it also speaks and says on that document, Al, Day, and Ali also. However, to be specific, all righty, we're here pertaining to CM Bay's work, all right, as far as this particular document is concerned for AA 222141, for that particular certificate number, which pertains to the Zodiac Constitution and the Moorish American Identification Card, all right, which again is registered in the Library of Congress, as well as the Department of Justice. So when Moorish Americans are showing their nationality cards, being the upright beings that they are, and someone, goes, tries to give you a challenge, oh, this isn't accepted, like that. It's no such thing as not being accepted when it's already filed in the Department of Justice as well as the Library of Congress. Period. If you're not clear on that, all right, not trying to show off to you guys, let's just be clear. That's the certificate for AA 222141. There's the certificate. All right, that's it, right? So you go on down to the Library of Congress, boom shakalaka, all right? So you guys aren't confused of why we're going over this book here. Boom, that was the certificate, right? Those are the credentials, right? Okay, cool. Even though number 2 on your name correction, you guys get it from RB Bay Publications, number 2, it'll talk about the credentials within the Department of Justice pertaining to AA 222141. All right, so being Moorish American isn't about being a loudmouth yelling outside of a truck holding a Moroccan flag, respectfully saying. All righty, I don't think, for me, it doesn't benefit me to carry myself that way. I'm more of the pen is mightier than the sword kind of being, knowing that most people, are just going to have to take a class when dealing with me. Right. And just, really learn what, constitutionality really is. Right. We don't have time to sit here and yell at agents in their gang uniforms with pieces of titty metal and a Glock 40 on their hip. We don't have time for that. We can just completely neutralize the situation and ask them about rules and regulations pertaining to their rules and regulations that they should be clear about. If they're not clear about it and they're incompetent, and that's why we call for a supervisor. We don't let them call for any supervisor because they could have anybody acting as a supervisor. However, first and foremost, us studying accurately and being in harmony with our own Zodiac constitution, which would be your natal chart, right? Shout out to the exalted Cyclops, right? Brother Corey Bay. Right. What I'm saying is not only are we in harmony with that when getting our astrology charts, right, and making sure that we have these things, this is why, even if you don't get a session with 7 Heel Star, any of us, that's why we still at least provide on our website a means for you to cast your own natal chart on 7heelstar.com. And we give you free access to Prophet Noble Ali University. Because if you really love yourself, you'll go about having the things that you need. However, that does also mean you can come to internationally certified professional astrologers, such as the brothers pertaining to 7 Heel Star. I, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, Brother Corey Bay, Brother Sean Ali Mel. We are internationally certified professional astrologers by our own free national press. And I get it. A lot of people are like, oh, well, Nature doesn't have certifications and things of that nature. However, what we're doing is we're making sure we're checking one another, checking ourselves, and knowing how we're going about that. That's why it'll be great for those of you, even if you're not a member pertaining to the Universally Professional Astrology Community, TUPAC, show up tomorrow. You're not a member, you don't have a student card, it's 30 units to the CashApp, right? You have a student card, 15 units, right? If you want to become a member, it's 250 and all the discussions will be free for you every time you show up to the discussions, right? And you'll get, so-called breaks or discounts when it comes to the astrology workshops, right? Which we're ready to really turn up the frequency on that. So you guys can just really do what our Albion sons and daughters have been doing with the Zodiac in their communities. All righty. So you can just stop, complaining about what the Albions have as opposed to what we have, right? So they're custodians, We even grafted the Albion to be here to be, you know, placeholders for when we, you know, wake up and go back to that mindset pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers so that our days are long upon the earth plane. Great article 2, I'm going to, in a normal 7 Hill Star fashion as we present, Brother Sean Alinell is going to read the articles, and I'm going to, I'm serious, member. I'm going to ad-lib, right? And give what it is that I give. So we yield the floor to our beloved brother, and please, Brother Sean Alinell, Islam.
All right, here we go. Article 2. Since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Charta document of white supremacy and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon our Moor's Zodiac 12 signs, mathematical constitution, the lawmakers have no jurisdiction over the free Moors, the bays and ales, and the inherited land of the Moorish nation, namely U.S.A. Canada, Central, and South America.
And it's very interesting to see that, because CM Bay even knows himself, he has to say things this way because he already said inherited land. When he's saying namely, he's saying contemporarily called this, even though it's not actually this. But it's being recognized now by those that have overthrown and practice ignoring that which they really can't ignore, because there are beings that are in complete harmony with their Magna Carta, which means they're in harmony with the Zodiac Constitution. So those of us who are being civil-minded and being those AstroCivicians, you're being the astrology, you're being the civics, you'll exude that energy. You won't have to be all yelling loud, scrunch up your face, show an attitude, roll your eyes, snap your neck. You don't have to do those things. You can put all the niggerisms to the side, or leave the niggerisms to the niggers. And the troglodyte nigger is the chimpanzee that was utilized to mix our genes in order to get the Albion sons and daughters that most people falsely call white people. That Caucasian is the nigger. I'm not being mean. If you can't handle the truth, just leave the app. You don't even have to look at this video. You know what I mean? However, make sure you don't believe anything I say and research what I'm saying yourself. And then when you find out that it's the absolute truth, then all right, cool. Troglodyte, negro, ya vera, arebo, chimpanzee. Period. Again, not being mean. But you're talking about people doing consciousness swapping. Just like some of those movies you see where people are swapping their consciousness into other bodies. So there was at one point in time, people like, let's make these smaller bodies grafted out of putting this together with this, and we'll have this Caucasian, and maybe we can swap our consciousness into these bodies until we can swap our consciousness back into other bodies. Some of you are not going to be able to handle that, but it's plain and simple. That's what it is. Since the 12 jurymen pertaining to the 50 Union States Magna Charta document pertaining to the myth, which is white supremacy, and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court. It's theirs. It's not ours. All we're supposed to do, Moorish Americans, is to keep them in check, because they are no different than someone visiting our home, being a guest in our home. And we've allowed them to be able to do business when really nature said to cut their heads off. However, there are some people who are in tune to know that, you know what, they're here, let them run their time out. Let the sun either eliminate them or absorb them. For those of you Moors out there absorbing the Albion, for those really Moorish mothers absorbing the Albion sons. I don't really think, for me, for my studies, I really don't think the Moorish sons should be in any way, shape, or form getting absorbed by the Albion daughter. I'm just gonna keep it a bang with you. That's because I'm, again, telling the truth that some people would probably be like, oh, that's tough, man. That's an uncomfortable conversation. Look, man, I've been studying this and really studying it. I'm not just trying to, get in your pockets by catering to names that you call yourself and delude to slavery. Oh, well, let me talk about the so-called Black people. See, Black people, I need to say some more Black people stuff to Black people and then be like, but we're not Black people. But if I keep saying Black people, that'll attract more Black people to my platform. I don't have time for that. We're going to tell the truth. Tell the truth and then just see how many people are really not lovers of having the truth told to them. Period. You don't love the truth. So it is what it is. However, moving forward, their Supreme Court, right? It was founded on our stuff, our Moor Zodiac 12 signs mathematical constitution. So the lawmakers, who are the people sitting here making, remember, it's ULC, the Uniform Law Commission, which is 500 some odd attorneys who are not supposed to be having anybody accept their legislation, but this is showing you how things have been hijacked, especially on the state level, with their Uniform Law Commission, even though they're not making law. But if they think they are, even those that think they are the lawmakers pertaining to the 50 Union States Magna Charta, document of white supremacy and their 9 judges, even if they think they're making law, and those that actually are making law for the 50 Union States, right? They have no jurisdiction. This isn't some radical thinking. This isn't some sovereign citizen stuff. It's not. This is what's in the Library of Congress and also registered as Moorish American credentials. Moorish American credentials. Moorish American credentials in the Department of Justice. The Justice Department, which is different from the Department of Justice. However, everyone's on notice and it's filed there. So what we need to do, Moorish Americans, is to be way more sharper at forcing these people to do their obligation. This is why we need to be, interacting with these different beings that think they're mayors, county auditors, county executives, lieutenant governors, congressmen, delegates, president. This is why, because they're supposed to be, is this okay if we do this, Moorish Americans? And then Moorish Americans would go, move it to the left just a little bit. I need you to hang this picture appropriately. No, not like that, like this. And that's not, I get it. You got an abused, battered people who feel like they're owed something. And since you feel like you're owed something, you want to have an attitude about your reparation. All you need to do is be yourself, because these beings have no jurisdiction over the free Moors. Free Moors. Free Moors. The B's and L's. When it comes to the inherited land, on the inherited land, in the inherited land, whatever, because land actually is everything that is on the land, above and below. Actually, read a Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. You'll see what it is with the land. And then check land in other law dictionaries. Just 3rd and 4th are the ones that really knocks them out. And don't let people try to discourage you. Oh, so you Moors is always using, always go for that 4th edition of Black's Law. That ain't nothing. Let them think whatever they think and be just as calm, cool, and collected, and then just ask questions. And when you see these beings can't answer the questions, watch them go through a slight aneurysm because they're going to be upset. You know, not wishing anything bad, but they're then going to have a stroke that we're not allowing them to put their spirit on us, pertaining to their ignorantly enforced slavery, because they're volunteering, thinking it's the way to live. Finish up my ad lib. Reason he's saying namely, which means contemporarily called, but is actually not. You know, and the reason he's saying namely is for it to be identified by the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Charta document of white supremacy and their 9 judges, or the 9 judges of their Supreme Court. So they recognize it within their system of things, while at our house, U.S.A, Canada, Central and South America is a little less corporate for me than U.S.A in Canada. Yield the floor to you, bro. Islam.
Islam. The living free Moorish. It didn't say the Blacks, African Americans, and folks. You know, for those that are here that know, I think y'all really need to get clear, get it deep, and not only your spirit, deep in your soul, and deep in your body, that y'all didn't come from Africa, like on the slave ship and boats. Like that needs to be hung up like tennis shoes on the telephone wires. You know what I'm saying? Like that needs to be hung up and left there forever as a picture of, wow, we used to really go by that, because it said, you know, living free Moorish Americans. And yeah, we know, oh, they taught us that, we know that, but you know, how much longer will it take of making excuses in order to really start doing something? You know, to really start being yourselves. Y'all want to be these ancient gods and goddesses and everything else, but are not operating in that mindset or that spirit of what ye imagines or pictures in their head. You're not really being that. You're just talking about it. So yeah, y'all got to get out of that. Study and don't be afraid to think. Really, yeah, don't be afraid to think. And who cares, because being Moorish American isn't cool? Who cares? Is being cool, wanting to be cool, taking care of our children, our society, our land, and everything else? I don't think being cool is doing none of that. It ain't helping nothing. But it's continuing the spirit, you know, this occupation that has been occurring. And it's like, folks like, well, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Well, we didn't. Y'all have been told. It's been told. But folks don't want to know, because what was the Eminem song? I love the way you lie. And you know, it's really time to get past that. You know, forget all the jokes, forget all the distractions we see on social media and TV. It's really time to get to work. And we can still, you know, make jokes, but at the end of the day, there's work to do. And Seven Hill Star and, you know, a very few Moorish Americans who are clear actually doing good work. We can't do it all. We need help. Y'all can't just continue to wait on everybody else to do something for y'all. And y'all really thinking that Albion's really gonna tell y'all? They ain't. They took an oath not to tell you. Now there are some who are honorable, you know, will be considered helping, but for the most part, y'all really need to get it together and really get clear on what y'all want and not fantasize about it. So moving on, the Moorish American nationality and their surnames, B and L, are their inherited birthrights without a legal due process of the lawmakers pertaining to the Union Society, U.S.A. What our Moorish forefathers were.
That right there, bro. That right there. That right there.
Oh, but I gotta go here and get that. Did you not read? You don't need a legal due process.
You don't have to go to court for a legal name change.
And they get it notarized.
Because you're not changing your name. You're correcting the name, and you are stating from your mind, from within, you're stating your appellation. You don't need to do it with the due process pertaining to the lawmakers of the Union Society, U.S.A., because they have no jurisdiction over free Moors. Period. They have no jurisdiction. Now we can go out here and act a donkey. I yield, bro.
Yeah, don't go ahead and act a donkey, and that's not what a lot of folks will do. Well, such thing, I know. Go ahead and see what happens. Because of the Albion's Europeans won't get you, nature will. So go ahead doing stupid shit. Like, be honorable, man. Like, really be about uplifting. Folks just want to please the carnal self and really not have no substance or spirit. Like, but whatever. What our Moorish forefathers were, we are today, without a doubt or contradiction, namely Moorish. Man, what was that one movie?
Point, and that's in harmony with chapter 47.
What was that one movie? Was it that Robin Hood movie that had Morgan Freeman? And he said, "Who are you?" When he said, "Moorish." I mean, it's so clear in the day that they tell y'all, but y'all are so asleep.
Robin
Hood. Is it Robin Hood? Okay, yeah. And y'all don't want to be it. Like, yeah, we know there's a lot of misinformation out there to try to deter or take people away from their birthright and who they are and their heritage that they're bound to. So, like I said, we're going to continue to do what we do, like really be open to thinking and just doing what's right. And not wanting other people to do it for you. I yield, bro.
No, you're good. It's a delay. That's why I thought I don't know if you was done or not, but it's all good. What I'm just saying, what our Moorish forefathers were, we are today without doubt or contradiction, namely Moorish, because that's how it has to be recognized by these beings. Really, again, going with the namely thing, we just are. We're infinite. Actually, what is the description being? But the namely is there for their own identification purposes of knowing who not to mess with, respectfully. But if we go here to chapter 47, right? Make sure this is what we're looking at. 9 through 11, right? What number 10 say? Chapter 47, verse 10.
Ooh, we got a man. If, and look at 9, 9, according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, Black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants pertaining to Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. 10, what your ancient forefathers were, you are today, without doubt or contradiction. 11, there is no one.
Article 2.
There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond a great universal creator, Allah himself.
And people want to sit out there and spout hate, act 3 violations, talking about he got kicked out the temple by the prophet. First of all, you ain't that old to have witnessed that. Second of all, how is the last sentence in Article 2 pertaining to the Zodiac Constitution clearly in harmony with chapter 47 of the Quran, verse 10 to be specific? Sounds like he's completely in the temple to me, because the first temple is your mind and body. Temples here on the side of it, so you're within the temple, because the temples are here and I'm within this, area here. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh. So the thought of Allah manifested in flesh kicked him out of his body. Please shut up. What are you trying to say? Prophet Noble Ali switched his consciousness into a body that was 11 years younger than him, because CM Bay manifested March 6, 1897, and Prophet Noble Ali manifested January 8th, 1886. They're 11 years apart. And you're spouting out that the prophet kicked him. Shut up. Just respectfully. This is why there are beings like I and my brothers who are taking this information and pushing Old Moors to the back. Why we also recognize and we respect our Elder Moors. You'll even see, it seems like they're getting sharper in their language and specifying, not because they're studying, they're talking to us. They're not freely sharing things with elders, things that we're, coming across and things of that nature. So it seems like, dang, man, they really on it. No, we've put ourselves out there to extend our learning. And then we came back and shared some things with some of the elders. Period. It is what it is. You're going to see. Go back and listen to certain language in certain videos previous, and then you look at things that's happening now. People's language is changing. Why? Because we was like, hey, did you ever look at this like this? Because now we're seeing this way. To kind of give a fullness to the perspective. However, guys, we would like for you guys to join us next Friday for our Impromptu Improv, where we go over Article 3, right? Tax and military, it says exemption for Moorish Americans, the B's and L's, right? And remember, we just read chapter 47, verse 9. There's no Negroes attached to the human family. That's why it says, even in that first line, referred to as something not attached to the human family, ever. There's no record of it, which means it's a war for birthright theft. If you guys can just really see it, take your time and really just see it. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions? Going once. Shout out to the Exalted Cyclops in the chat. He says, Islam, happy holy Venus degree. Islam to you, brother Corey. Open 642 says, greetings. Greetings to you, mother. Peace and greetings. Brother Dark Glash Bay says, happy holy Venus degree. Happy holy Venus degree to you also.
Happy holy Venus degree.
Brother Derek. Brother 7, Judah Bilal Bay. Islam. Brother 7 says, peace and love to you also. Mother Sahar L says, happy holy Venus degree. Happy holy Venus degree, Mother Sahar. Indeed. Queleza Vega. Brother Queleza says, all love, Islam. Indeed, Brother Queleza. Islam to you also. TT Bird says, peaceful greetings. Happy holy day. Happy holy degree to you also. Brother 7 says Islam twice. Islam, bro. Brother Dark Blash Bay says love and truth. And that what I understand from studying, Hassan teach. Indeed. And he says, stamp in us. Brother Sean. So I'm guessing that might have been not sure what, but when I was reading it before reading it now, I'm thinking the stamp in us may be like, you know, what's on people's heart while they are referring to themselves to names that allude to slavery. It is kind of stamped in them. If that's what Brother Derek means by that, at least that's how I'm, you know, taking it as far as even saying what I'm saying now, right? With that being said, questions, comments, and those suggestions going twice. All righty, this is where I and my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, say be yourselves and donate, guys. If there's no questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice, we're going to do our invocation out, guys. Oh, yep, Brother Derek said correct as far as the stamp, right? Concerned. The mother over 642 says gratitude indeed, mother. So what we're going to do, because like I said, after we get out of this, live, we're going to go right into Malika's court strategy class for lawful living, right? That started about an hour and 18 minutes ago, but it's all good. It is what it is, because me and the bros, we are always in our studies, so it's all good. But we're going to catch the tail end of that and getting some victuals, right? Get some energy and eat something. Here, and Brother Derek says, correct, love and respect, indeed, beloved brother. This is where we're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within with our feet on a 45-degree angle. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in ye heart. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Amen. All righty, Aphrodite, guys. Thank you all so much for joining. I and my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, on behalf of all the 7 Hill Star, brother, first, I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Bay, Brother Sean Alim L, Brother Corey Bay, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, and Brother R. Mawaba Bay. This is where we say to ye all, enjoy yourselves, rest and recharge. Well, Mother Sahar says, yes, gratitude indeed, beloved mother. Guys, rest and recharge well. When you do so, go and get yourselves hydrated, get some refreshments right now. And if you're going to be a part of that law study class, we'll see you guys in the court strategy class. All right. This is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. We love you. Peace.